The air here feels ancient. It hangs heavy over the vast plains, the llanos, where the horizon stretches into infinity. Tall grasses ripple in a slow, hypnotic dance, moved by a wind that carries no sound of the modern world. This is a land that seems to have forgotten time. Herds of capybaras, the world's largest rodents, graze peacefully by the water's edge, their movements unhurried and deliberate. Overhead, a flock of scarlet ibis paints a streak of vibrant red against the deep blue sky. They fly with a silent, synchronized grace, a fleeting moment of impossible beauty in a landscape that feels both serene and profoundly wild. It is a place that pulls you in, demanding your full attention. Everything here is on a grand scale. The rivers are not mere streams, they are immense, powerful arteries of brown water that carve their way through the earth. The Orinoco Delta branches out like the veins of a giant leaf, a labyrinth of waterways that hide secrets in its murky depths. Here, the symphony of the wild is constant. The guttural calls of howler monkeys echo through the dense canopy at dawn, a primal alarm clock for the jungle. The splash of a river dolphin breaking the surface is a sudden, startling interruption in the quiet flow. This is a world governed by nature's oldest rules, a place of raw, untamed power that commands respect and awe. The sheer scale of the wilderness is humbling. To stand on the edge of Angel Falls is to feel utterly insignificant. Water thunders down from the top of the Auyan Tepuy, a flat-topped mountain that rises like a fortress from the jungle floor. It is the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall, a cascade so high that the water turns to mist before it ever reaches the bottom. The sound is a deafening roar, a constant reminder of nature's immense force. The spray hangs in the air, creating a permanent rainbow at its base. It feels like a sacred place, a corner of the earth untouched by human hands, where the planet's raw energy is on full display. Yet, even in these remote corners, the modern world casts a long, faint shadow. The silence is not absolute. If you listen closely, you can sometimes hear the distant drone of a small plane, a reminder that this isolation is not complete. The natural world here is a spectacle of breathtaking beauty, a testament to what the planet can create when left to its own devices. It is a land of vibrant life, of stunning vistas, and of a deep, resonant quiet. But this quiet holds more than just peace. It holds stories. It holds attention that you can feel, but cannot always see, a silent waiting for something to change. If you've enjoyed this journey into Venezuela's wild beauty, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more breathtaking explorations and untold stories from around the world. Join us and never miss an adventure. Venezuela is a country of staggering contradictions. It is a land blessed with unimaginable wealth, hidden just beneath the surface of its beautiful landscapes. It sits atop the largest proven oil reserves on the entire planet. This black gold, this liquid treasure, should have made it one of the richest nations on earth. The potential for prosperity is immense, a promise of a golden future that seems written into the very geology of the country. From the air, you can see the infrastructure of this industry, the pipelines that snake across the plains, the refineries that glow like small cities in the night. It is the engine of a dream, but on the ground, that dream feels distant and fractured. The wealth from the oil does not seem to reach the people who live above it. In the cities, the hum of traffic is a constant, anxious buzz. Long lines of cars wait patiently, sometimes for days, for a chance to fill their tanks with fuel. A bitter irony in a nation that has so much of it. The gleam of modern skyscrapers in Caracas stands in stark contrast to the sprawling barrios that cling to the surrounding hillsides. These communities are a patchwork of unfinished brick and corrugated iron, a testament to a promise that has not been fulfilled for so many. The paradox is everywhere you look. It is in the empty shelves of a once bustling market, where a few vegetables are laid out with meticulous care. It is in the quiet determination of a street vendor trying to sell a handful of items to make enough for the day's meal. The country feels like a gilded cage, It is beautiful, rich in resources, and full of vibrant culture. But for many, the bars of that cage are all too real. Daily life is a relentless struggle, a constant exercise in making do with less. The potential is visible, tantalizingly close, yet it remains just out of reach for the majority. The shadow of this struggle stretches even into the wild, beautiful places. The national parks and pristine landscapes are a world away from the urban grind, yet they are not entirely immune. The pressures of the economic reality push people into desperate measures. The very resources that make the country rich are also a source of deep-seated problems that ripple outwards, touching every corner of society. This contrast between the immense natural beauty and the harshness of daily life is the central, defining tension of Venezuela. It is a story of great promise and profound disappointment, playing out against a backdrop of breathtaking scenery. The true resilience of Venezuela is not found in its oil fields or its grand landscapes. It is found in its people, and especially in its women. They are the anchors of their families and communities, the silent pillars holding everything together against formidable odds. In the small villages that dot the banks of the Orinoco River, life is dictated by the rhythm of the water and the struggle for survival. Here, women rise before the sun, their days a long series of tasks performed with a quiet, practiced efficiency. They tend to small vegetable gardens, mend fishing nets, and prepare the day's catch over open fires. Their hands tell a story of hard work. They are strong, capable, and often calloused from years of paddling canoes, washing clothes in the river, and cultivating the stubborn earth. Yet there is a softness in their touch as they care for their children, a gentleness that defies the harshness of their environment. They carry the weight of their family's well-being on their shoulders, often with little support. They are the doctors, the teachers, and the providers. They possess a deep, practical knowledge of the land and the river, a wisdom passed down through generations that is more valuable than any formal education. Hope is a precious, carefully guarded commodity here. It is not a grand, optimistic vision of the future, but something much smaller and more immediate. It is the hope for a good catch of fish, for enough rain to water the crops, or for a child to stay healthy. These women live in the present, their focus fixed on the immediate needs of today and tomorrow. They face uncertainty with a stoicism that is both humbling and inspiring. Their laughter, when it comes, is genuine and full-throated, a brief, beautiful defiance against the daily grind. It is a sound that carries across the water, a reminder of the enduring human spirit. In their faces, you can see a complex tapestry of emotions. There is worry, etched in the lines around their eyes. There is fatigue from the endless cycle of work. But there is also an unbreakable strength, a profound dignity that shines through. They are not victims of their circumstances. They are survivors, strategists, and warriors in their own right. They navigate a world of scarcity with an ingenuity born of necessity. The story of modern Venezuela is written in their resilience, in their quiet, unwavering determination to endure and to provide, no matter the cost. Traveling along the remote waterways of the Orinoco Delta feels like entering another world, one where the line between beauty and danger is incredibly thin. The jungle presses in on all sides, a dense green wall of vegetation that seems to swallow the light. The water is dark and opaque, hiding whatever lies beneath its surface. Piranhas are a real and present danger, a fact that local people treat with casual respect. Caimans, relatives of the alligator, lie motionless on the muddy banks, their eyes barely visible above the water. They look like ancient reptilian logs, waiting with endless patience for an opportunity. The sounds of the jungle create an atmosphere of constant suspense. The air is thick with the buzz of insects, a high-pitched, incessant hum that never stops. Strange bird calls erupt from the canopy, some melodic, others sharp and startling. At night, the darkness is absolute, broken only by the flickering of fireflies. Every rustle in the undergrowth, every splash in the water, takes on a heightened significance. It is a place that makes you feel intensely alive, your senses sharpened by a primal awareness of your surroundings. You are an intruder here, a guest in a kingdom that is not your own. The human element adds another layer of unpredictability. The Delta is a patchwork of territories, home to indigenous Warao communities who have lived on these waters for centuries. But it is also a channel for less visible activities. The remoteness that makes it so beautiful also makes it a perfect corridor for those operating outside the law. Small, fast-moving boats sometimes appear out of nowhere, their occupants' faces unreadable, before disappearing just as quickly into a side channel. There is a sense of an unseen world operating just beneath the surface of daily life, a world of shadows and secrets. This tension between the serene beauty and the underlying threat is palpable. One moment, you can be mesmerized by the sight of a magnificent harpy eagle perched high in a tree, its gaze sharp and imperious. The next, you are reminded of the fragility of your own position. The river is both a source of life and a place of potential peril. It provides food and transport, but it also conceals dangers, both natural and man-made. Navigating this world requires a constant state of vigilance, a respect for the power of the environment, and the complexities of the human dramas playing out within it. Far from the rivers, in the heart of the cities, the suspense takes on a different form. It is not the threat of a predator in the jungle, but a more pervasive atmospheric unease. The soundscape of a city like Caracas is a complex symphony of anxiety. The constant blare of car horns is not just noise, it is a language of frustration and impatience. The screech of brakes, the distant wail of a siren, the low rumble of a city that never fully rests. It all contributes to a feeling of being on edge. Life here is lived at a high tempo, a daily scramble for resources and security. The nights bring their own kind of suspense. The city, viewed from a high vantage point, is a sea of twinkling lights. But within that sea are pockets of darkness and silence. The streets become quieter, but not necessarily safer. People move with a purpose, their eyes scanning their surroundings. The sound of a motorcycle approaching from behind can cause a jolt of adrenaline, a reflexive tightening of the muscles. It is a learned response, an instinct for self-preservation honed by the realities of urban life. The simple act of walking home after dark is fraught with a tension that is exhausting to live with. Women, in particular, navigate this world with a heightened sense of awareness. They carry their hopes for a better life alongside the constant burden of caution. Their journeys through the city are carefully planned operations. They know which streets to avoid, which times of day are safest, and how to carry themselves to avoid drawing unwanted attention. They share information through informal networks, whispers of advice passed between friends, neighbors, and family. This collective knowledge is a crucial tool for survival, an invisible shield they wear every day. This underlying fear is the quiet counterpoint to the loud, vibrant energy of Venezuelan culture. It is there, in the way people glance over their shoulders, in the security bars that cover windows and doors, and in the unspoken conversations that pass between strangers in a shared taxi. It is a constant, low-level stress that seeps into the fabric of everyday existence. It does not crush the spirit of the people. Their warmth and generosity remain remarkable. But it is a heavy weight to carry. It is the whisper on the wind, a reminder that even in a crowd, one can feel vulnerable. Despite the immense challenges, the spirit of Venezuela endures. It is a spirit that is as vast and powerful as its landscapes. You see it in the defiant joy of a street party, where music spills out onto the pavement and people dance with an infectious, life-affirming energy. Salsa rhythms pulse through the air, a temporary escape from the worries of the day. For a few hours, the struggles are forgotten, and all that matters is the movement, the connection, and the shared celebration of being alive. This capacity for joy, in the face of so much adversity, is a powerful form of resistance. The natural world itself seems to offer a kind of solace, a reminder of a beauty that transcends human problems. To watch the sun set over the plains of the Llanos is a spiritual experience. The sky ignites in shades of orange, pink, and purple, a spectacle of such overwhelming beauty that it forces you to stop and breathe. In these moments, the noise of the world fades away, replaced by a profound sense of peace. The land has a permanence that the temporary struggles of humanity cannot erase. It was here long before the oil was discovered, and it will be here long after. The hope for the future is carried by the younger generation. In quiet classrooms and community centers, you can see the flicker of determination in their eyes. They learn, they play, and they dream of a different kind of country. They are acutely aware of the problems they have inherited, but they have not yet been defeated by them. Their resilience is a reflection of their mothers' and grandmothers' strength, a legacy of endurance passed down. They are the seeds of a potential renewal, a future that is still unwritten. Venezuela is a land of profound and painful beauty. It is a country that can break your heart with its struggles, and then, in the next moment, fill you with awe at its splendor. The stories of its women, the vastness of its wilderness, and the deep paradox of its wealth create a picture that is both tragic and deeply inspiring. To travel here is to be constantly reminded of the fragility of human systems and the enduring power of the human spirit. The country's future is uncertain, but its soul, wild, beautiful, and unbroken, remains.